I am Gravy Bones, undead captain of the ghostly dreadnought, forever sailing the storm-churned seas, free from the burdens of mortal life, though cursed never to set foot on dry land again. The sea was always my first love, and treasure a close second, driving my endless quest across the waves. In life, I earned my name through ruthless deeds, none more infamous than the day I tore out a rival captain's heart and took a bite out of it. His crew surrendered on the spot. My reputation alone could raise white flags before a single shot was fired, but not even I could outrun time. When death came for me, I sought out dreadful Reach, a necropolis drenched in dark magic, and embraced undeath. One by one, my crew followed me into the abyss, dying pirate deaths and rising again under my command. Even the dreadnought herself crossed over to sail once more beside me. Now I haunt the deep, chasing ancient treasures and turning the defiant into cursed crewmates. Death couldn't stop me. So, what hope does anyone else have?
Today we will be looking at Gravy Bones' Shipwreck Looter. If you're new to Flesh and Blood, I strongly suggest watching our So You Want to Play Flesh and Blood and visit FABTCG.com for additional information. Link will be in the description. All topics have their own timestamp for your convenience, so feel free to jump ahead to the section you need. Gravy Bones was first introduced in the High Seas set in June 2025, with his own Armory deck releasing a week earlier. The set introduced two new classes, Necromancer and Pirate, and Gravy uniquely has access to both. You can find Armory deck and upgraded gameplay in the description. Let's break down his hero ability. First, it mentions Instant, tap, destroy a gold you control, draw a card, then discard a card. First, the symbol with an arrow in it means tap. When you tap a card, you rotate it sideways to indicate the ability has been used. All cards will untap at the end of your turn. Gold is a token item that says, Action, for 2 resources, destroy this, draw a card, go again. The second part of his hero card says, if a blue card has been put into your graveyard this turn, you may play cards with Watery Grave from your graveyard. Watery Grave is a keyword included on some cards. When this is put into your graveyard from the arena, turn it face down. Gravy Bones leads a crew of undead allies who return from the graveyard to battle on his behalf. These may be played from hand, but the most effective way to summon a Necromancer ally is to first move it into your graveyard. This can be achieved by using effects found on certain cards that allow you to discard cards from your hand or destroy the top card of your deck. Each Necromancer ally has a life value displayed in the bottom right corner, indicating how much damage it takes to destroy them permanently. Because they all have the Watery Grave keyword, anytime one of these allies is put into your graveyard from the arena, it's turned face down and can no longer be brought back into play. Note that this only affects allies moved to graveyard from the arena, not from your own discard effects. As stated on his hero card, an ally can only be played from the graveyard if a blue card was placed there earlier in the turn. This makes blue cards a crucial part of Gravy's overall strategy. Additionally, they serve as a strong engine by being pitched to draw cards from gold tokens. As you journey with Gravy Bones, you will have access to the Necromancer, Pirate, and Generic card pool. Gravy leans toward the more challenging side of the spectrum, as it requires to sequence your play in a certain way. As a new class, he currently has access to a limited card pool. There are some emerging approaches to this hero. I'll go over deck building tips later in this video. Gravy Bones does not possess a signature or class-specific weapon. In this context, his allies function as his weapon. However, he does make use of the Compass of Sunken Depths, an offhand equipment. Instant, tap. Look at the top card of your deck. The first card with Watery Grave you play from your graveyard each turn gets go again. This offers great synergy with Gravy Bones, as it can give you valuable information about cards you may want to destroy from top of the deck, or cards you may want to draw from gold or draw to discard an ally from hand. Being an instant, you may activate this on your opponent's turn, but note that this will only untap at the end of your own turn. Gravy Bones' allies don't have Go Again when played. However, the Compass of the Sunken Depths grants Go Again to the first card with Watery Grave you play from your graveyard each turn, enabling it to attack. Keep in mind, a blue card must still have been placed into your graveyard that turn. If you're not ready to fully commit to Gravy Bones just yet, here are some budget equipment that can be used with this hero. Headstone. Instant. Destroy this. Destroy the top card of your deck. Simple but offers great flexibility. Washed Up Wave. When this defends, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck. If that card has Watery Grave, this gets +2 defense. This pairs especially well with the Compass of the Sunken Depths. Captain's Coat and Old Knocker can both net you a resource under certain conditions. Old Knocker provides some defense in a pinch but will be destroyed once used on defense. Then we have Pegleg. For 3 resources, you can destroy it to give your next attack Go Again. And finally, Mage Master Boots. For 1 resource, this can grant your next non-attack action Go Again. Your allies being non-attack actions, this works quite well. There are plenty of other solid budget options out there too, so be sure to explore them. Now, let me introduce you to the Gravy Bones Undead crew. Unlike other allies in the game, these are one-sided. Their life total is shown in the bottom right corner and represents the amount of damage needed to defeat them. This is not considered a block value, meaning they can be used to block attacks from your opponent. Finding the right balance of crewmates will be key. Common rarity allies we have Barnacle, Rigor Mortis, and Swabby. These are straightforward attack allies. Chowder Hardy Cook and Shelly Hardened Traveler each provide compelling instant speed abilities. By tapping Chowder at instant speed, you gain 1 life, while Shelly offers strong defensive utility during your opponent's turn. Cutty Shark Quick Clip has a simple attack and a once per turn action. For 1 resource, your next ally attack this turn gets +1 attack power. Note that you can activate this to pump Cutty Shark itself. In rare, we have Limpet Hopalong, Scuba Salty Sea Dog, and Kelpie Tangle Mess. Limpet is a great go-wide enabler, whilst Kelpie offers disruption against heroes that utilize the tap mechanic. Scuba is an interesting one. When you attack, you may return a yellow card from either your own or your opponent's graveyard to its owner's deck. If you do, create a gold token. Oyston Heart of Gold, an Armory deck exclusive, functions similarly to some of the common allies, but when it dies, it creates a gold under your control. In the Majestic slot, we have Sawbones Dockhand, Anka Drag Under, Chum Friendly First Mate, Moray LaFay, and Whaler Humperdinck. First, we have the Armory deck exclusive Sawbones Dockhand. His instant ability can prevent 1 damage to yourself or a pirate you control. For example, if your opponent attacks Rigor Mortis with a 1-power dagger, you can tap Sawbones to prevent that 1 damage, allowing Rigor Mortis to survive the attack. This also works on itself if Sawbones is the target of a 2-power attack. Additionally, you may use Sawbones to block 1 damage directed at yourself. Enka, also an Armory deck exclusive, will punish your opponent from drawing cards during their action phase. Moray offers decent utility as she can add a +1 attack counter on herself or an ally. Note that these counters are permanent and will not be removed at the end of your turn. True to his name, Chum is certainly a friendly mate. At instant speed, you can tap Chum and discard a card with Watery Grave, forcing opponents to target Chum with their attacks until the end of their turn, if able. This not only serves as a discard engine, but also makes Chum a durable shield, thanks to his 6 health. Last but certainly not least is Whaler Humperdinck. Whaler makes for an excellent late game play, especially when your deck is mostly down to blue cards. He costs 6 to play and 6 to attack, but once you get him on the board, he delivers a devastating 11 damage. With 7 health, he's also hard to take down, making him a lasting threat. Every great crewmate needs backup. Let's dive into some of the support and synergy cards Gravy Bones can play. First, we have FABTCG. Heave-Ho, and Yo-Ho-Ho. Individually, each one offers unique ally benefits, but they all share the same on-hit effect, creating a gold token when you hit the opposing hero. One gives the next pirate ally go again, one will give it +1 attack power, and the other overpower. Overpower means this attack can't be defended by more than one action card. The next two cards are exclusive to the Armory deck and share similar abilities with punishing on-hit effects. Loot the Arsenal gives your next pirate ally attack this turn. When this hits a hero, destroy a card in their arsenal. If you do, create a gold token. Meanwhile, Loot the Hold causes the opponent to discard a card on hit. Keep in mind, if the targeted hero has no arsenal or no cards to discard when your pirate ally hit, no gold token will be created. Give No Quarter is a non-attack action that says the next two ally cards with Watery Grave you play this turn cost 3 resources less to play. This is quite a powerful setup, but remember that these allies don't have Go Again by default. The Compass grants Go Again to the first Watery Grave card you play from your graveyard, but if you play a second ally afterward, you won't be able to attack with the first, unless it's Limpet, or if you have cards or equipment like Mage Master boots that provide additional action points. A key detail about all the cards mentioned in this section: they're blue, which means they can also trigger Gravy Bones ability. The last 3 are cards that gains benefits when an ally is tapped. Board the Ship. When this attacks, you may tap an ally you control. If you do, this gets Overpower. Paddle Faster will get Go Again, and the block card Hoist 'em Up will gain +1 defense if an ally was tapped. Since Gravy relies on playing his pirate allies from the graveyard, we need ways to get them there. This is where discard effects and top deck destruction come into play. Angry, Burly, Jittery, and Restless Bones are a perfect example. They all include, when this attacks, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck. Each will have a different effect if that card has Watery Grave. Angry Bones will get +1 attack power, Burly Bones will gain Overpower and Jittery, and Restless Bones will gain Go Again. Golden Tipple is an excellent chain extender and an easy inclusion. It provides both hand filtering and gold generation. Portside Exchange ticks a lot of boxes. It's a blue with Go Again and lets you cycle a card to discard an ally. If the discarded card is yellow, you also get to create a gold token. Last, we have Blood in the Water, a solid defense reaction. When this defends, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck. If that card has Watery Grave, this gets +2 defense. This essentially transforms a non-blocking ally into a 6 defense Blood in the Water and allows you to set up that ally for use on a future turn. Blue cards are a crucial part of Gravy Bones' engine. Without them, you simply can't play cards from your graveyard with Watery Grave. Murderous Rabble pulls double duty by acting as your blue card and letting you reveal the top card of your deck without needing to rely on your compass. Murderous Rabble gets +X attack power, where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. Chart the high seas. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You may pitch a blue card from among them. Put the rest into your graveyard. Create a gold token for each yellow card put into your graveyard this way. Go Again. This card is particularly intriguing and can open some unique synergies. First, the Compass gives you insight into the top of your deck, which is likely to contain a good mix of blue cards and yellow pirate allies. In an ideal scenario, you'd reveal an ally and a blue card, pitch the blue, and discard the yellow pirate ally. Saltwater Swell rewards revealing blue cards from the top of your deck, making it a strong chain extender. Reveal the top card. If it's blue, pitch it. The extra resources can then fuel cards with the High Tide mechanic. High Tide is a label keyword for effects that activate while you have 2 or more blue cards in your pitch zone. These effects are continuous but don't apply while the card is defending, unless stated otherwise. Ways to ensure you have 2 blues in the pitch zone include gaining information from the top of your deck before committing to cards like Saltwater Swell or converting a gold into a card draw by pitching a blue. HMS Barracuda, Kraken, and Marlin all share the same High Tide effect, granting +1 attack power and Overpower. However, they differ in their on-hit effects. Barracuda destroys an ally, Kraken destroys an item, and Marlin affects the top card of your opponent's deck. Second cycle chain extenders like Swiftwater Sloop are excellent options for maintaining momentum in longer games. Conqueror of the High Seas needs little introduction. Its on-hit is brutal, granting a gold for each card destroyed in the opponent's arsenal. In some instances, this can be 2. With High Tide active, it gets +1 power and go again, turning it into an 8 power attack with a devastating effect. Let that sink in. You may include some generic cards in your Gravy Bones deck, but keep in mind that generic cards can sometimes dilute your overall game plan, so finding the right balance of generic cards within your card pool will be key. Call to the Grave. It's a perfect fit for Gravy. It's blue, and lets you send an ally from your deck straight to the graveyard. Generic disruptive cards like Command and Conquer are great, but not the most budget-friendly option. Particularly in blue, Back Alley Breakline is a strong contender. If an activated ability or action card effect puts it face up into a zone from your deck, you gain 1 action point. This pairs well with many cards in your deck. Flying High and Lead the Charge in blue are particularly good to unlock go-wide turns as well. Time Snap Potion and Diamond Amulet are both options for gaining an action point, with Diamond Amulet also featuring the Watery Grave keyword. Lastly, depending on the current meta, you can include damage mitigation cards like Oasis Respite or defense reactions such as Sink Below and That All You Got. Are you considering getting his Armory deck? Let's look at the equipment suite included. Tricorn of Saltwater Death lets you discard a card with Watery Grave and draw a card when you block with it. Graven Just a Corpse. It has Battle Worn 1 and an instant ability that lets you destroy it, discard a card, and gain resources equal to that card's pitch value. This can discard a blue to trigger Gravy's ability and gain 3 resources, or send an ally to the graveyard while gaining 2. Pretty neat. Breakwater Undertow can be destroyed as a reaction to give a target pirate ally attack go again, though it comes at the cost of that ally's life. It could be a strong finisher, but the jury's still out. Washed Up Wave is not exclusive to this deck, but included as the arm piece. If you're looking to upgrade your equipment suite, here are a few to consider. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the stunning artwork. Dead Threads is a solid resource engine. If an ally entered your graveyard, you can tap it at instant speed to gain 1 resource. Gold-baited Hook can either generate gold or pressure your opponent into blocking. However, if you haven't created or stolen a gold, the turn it's activated, it gets destroyed. Lastly, we have the generic equipment Crown of Dominion. This makes your hero royal and creates a gold token when equipped. As of now, the only card that interacts with the royal trait is Arachne's specialization, Regicide. So it's best to avoid this if you're up against that hero. The main reason to run it is for the free gold token. The Necromancer and Pirate card pool currently supports a limited range of playstyles due to its small size. At time of recording, Gravy Bones is a recent addition to the hero lineup, so deck lists and strategies are still evolving, but should provide a solid starting point. I added a couple of deck lists in the description. Gravy Bones wins by setting up explosive turns with multiple attacks, forcing opponents to waste damage on your allies, or grinding them down with efficient blocks and repeated assault from your undead crewmates. Your strategy should adapt based on how your opponent plays. It will be important to stay alert and adjust accordingly. Blue cards are the backbone of this deck, and managing them is crucial. Without a late game plan, you risk fatiguing and losing access to your graveyard allies. Pitching blues that enable go-wide turns like Flying High can help set up strong payoff turns later on. Gold generation is another key resource, not just for getting allies into the graveyard, but also for pitching to draw, smoothing out awkward hands, and enabling explosive go-wide turns and disruption with Conqueror of the High Seas. Since allies can't block from hand, choosing your crew carefully is key. A go-wide ally like Limpet is a decent inclusion. while disruptive and evasive picks like Chum, Anka, and Sawbones fit perfectly. Add in gold generators like Scuba or Oyston, mix in raw damage from Rigor Mortis or Swabby, and don't forget late-game powerhouses like Whaler Humperdinck. With a high blue count, it's worth including disruptive red cards like Conqueror of the High Seas and Command and Conquer to pressure your opponent and capitalize on your resources. This playstyle aims for around 30 to 35 blues that synergize well with your hero and allies, 16 to 22 allies with some coming in and out based on matchups, 9 to 18 red go wide enablers with some of them offering some disruption, and depending on the meta, consider sideboarding some defensive options. You can find 2 different sample deck lists in the description and a great article by the one and only Yuki Bender. Alright, you should be all set to give Gravy Bones a go. Gravy rewards practice. The more you play, the better you'll understand how to outmaneuver opponents, where he shines, where he struggles, and how to best to respond to your opponent's choices. A special thanks to my channel members and supporters. If you'd like to support what I do, consider becoming a channel member. Every bit helps keep this channel going. If you like this video, make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe. This was Jackie for the Fab Workshop. See you next time, and thanks for watching.